Hey, this is Hardline Destructoid's game podcast. I almost said news, but I didn't. Yes! This is actually our second attempt. Bill Zoker, who was recording the show, what did he do? Was it a microwave and a toaster at the same time?
I think it was Max's fault.
Max's fault. Okay, well, someone had a toaster and their microwave running and it blew their fuse mid recording. So now we're doing this again. That's Brett Mekadonsky. Hi, Brett.
Yeah. Hi again.
Hi,
You still look like a banana.
I do. I love this shirt again. Hi, Steven.
Salve, amiche.
So this week's episode is sponsored. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen, but we're doing it. It's sponsored by The Crew, Ubisoft's open world racing game. You get to drive across the U.S. or like a scaled down version at any rate, and we are giving away like 15,000 beta codes for PS4 and Xbox One on Destructoid. So please go there. You will find articles we've written as well, and you might like those or maybe not. But the big news this week was Nintendo did another Direct. It's been a while. Majora's Mask was obviously the big thing there. We talked about that kind of last week. I said I was scared. I still am scared after watching the Direct. I was like, damn, this is just creepy. Nintendo 64 games creep me out. Steven, are you into it?
Yes, I am a Majora's Mask fan as a non-Zelda fan. So, I mean, for me, it's like Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventure for co-op, and Majora's Mask. And the rest of them, whatever, I don't care. So I'm pretty stoked to see that they're going to finally go ahead with this. I mean, for me, this is the equivalent of Square Enix saying, okay, Final Fantasy XII remake, because everyone had their fun with Final Fantasy X, just like everyone had their fun with Ocarina of Time. And so the sort of overrated baby's first game for a lot of people won. It's a little HD remake, and then I get the good game. So yeah, I'm stoked for Majora's Mask.
I'm thinking of when you were kind of saying the Zelda games you like and have played. I think the ones I played the most are the Capcom Game Boy Color Zeldas.
Minish Cap is an excellent game.
Minish Cap's pretty cool.
Minish Cap's probably top 5 for me.
But you're not a handheld gamer, so you're gonna skip.
No,
this.
I had to borrow a friend's Game Boy Advance to play Minish Cap back in the day.
Did you really?
You didn't have a Game Boy Advance? Wow.
How is that possible, dude?
I had a Game Boy Pocket where I played Link's Awakening, the most excellent of Zelda games, as I've said many times. I own Minish Cap on my Wii U now. That's kind of neat.
I have three Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Advance SP. Okay.
Oh, maybe you could, if we're just handing out Nintendo hardware, maybe you could throw some my way.
I'll give you one of my Game Boy Advances.
You're not getting the SP.
I found them, or sort of rediscovered them when I moved a few months ago, and they all had batteries in them still, and none of the batteries were corroded, and they all worked and had green, like, full battery. Wow. I was like, cool, all these Game Boy Advances still work. Now they go back in the box.
Do batteries have that thing where you can push on it and it'll tell you, and it goes like up to green or whatever?
That was for like a few years, though.
Those things
I don't know if they still make those.
Wasn't that like 1997? How old are these Game Boys?
No, I mean the Game Boy Advance is like the power LED were all green.
Okay, I got you.
I checked the batteries to make sure they weren't like, corroded and ruining the systems. And I probably left them in there.
Brett's not on the up and up with Game Boy Advance technology.
Game Boy tech.
I found my original, like the purple. I think purple was the one most people got who were early adopters. I found mine, my GBA, but the back casing that goes over the batteries is missing. So I'm like, I can't look at this. I can't deal with this.
I have the back casing missing for my lime green Game Boy Color. I don't know where the back casing for that one went. With that one, you really can't play without a back casing because the back casing is like a huge bump in it, and it would just be really uncomfortable to hold.
What SP did you have? What color?
The platinum-y silver one.
I had the red one, but I wanted that NES. God, I wanted that NES design.
That's pretty sweet. The red and black SPs were pretty nice too, but I think the silver was the first one they came out with, and so that's what I got. And I have I think I have the GVAs. I think 2 are purple and one of them is platinum.
So yeah, Nintendo did a pretty good job with their Direct.
They should have just talked about Game Boy Advance SPs. If
Yeah, they should. They should do. You know, they're making a new GameCube controller for Wii U Smash. They should just go make some more GBAs.
Yeah, I bet you they still have them.
Some backlit
somewhere.
GBAs.
They could just buy. They could buy your ridiculous backstock off of you and redistribute them to the masses.
And then it'll have to be like $2 less because there's no battery casing.
No, they can charge extra because
Premium?
the batteries still work in them and they haven't corroded the system.
Original batteries, rare.
There's a website that they make like custom Game Boy Advances still, and like nice little face plates and whatever. But the most important thing, the only reason why I almost considered buying one is because they have a proper backlight to them, like you know, a high quality, like better than the SPs even. So I would totally play a Game Boy Advance with the backlight. I'll get my my Mega Man Battle Network 2 cartridge, even though they just announced it for Wii U.
Yeah. I bought the first Battle Network but did not finish it because I kept getting lost. And if you get lost in that game, you're just gonna stay lost. I mean,
if you're jacked in to the net,
I'm jacked in and I'm lost.
If you're jacked into the net and you get lost, it's pretty fucked up.
I kept running through this maze, and it's not even a maze. It's just like this spiral. And every 2 seconds, it's like random battle, you're gonna win. Random battle, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus. And then I get to the end, and it's not what I wanted. But then I forgot where I've been. And it's like I'm just going back and forth.
Yeah, no, that game gets really fucked up if you get lost. It's really awful.
It's good when it's good, but Jesus. What else did they talk about? They talked about Splatoon. I think we are into that. That's you're a little squid girl. You fly through squidding, shoot some people. It's weird for us to talk. We already covered this in the failed recording, so it's like weird to go through this again. But Amiibos, I feel like we can talk about that again.
Amiibo.
I did it again. You corrected me last time too.
I think you mean Amiibi. I at the end for the plural.
There's some like cultural. There's some cultural center paying you to say that.
They're paying me in bread.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's all we're buying anyway, so throw out the middleman. It's so dumb, but I'm like hyped up being with beef and bread, and it's making me die here. Oh man,
that's all we're buying anyway.
Yeah, Amiibo are cool, except for the fact that they don't actually look as nice as the ones that they've been showing off. There's like nice versions, like shitty versions. Wow, Nintendo's trying to kill me telepathically, so I don't expose their shoddy, probably made in China Amiibo. But my made in China Chinatown Luigi costs $2, and it's really sweet. So I don't know.
How much are they? $14.99 or were they like $12.99? You know how much they cost?
$11.99, $12.99.
Okay, around there.
I think so.
I will buy one. I bet at the very least, I'll buy one.
I won't buy one because I won't ever go somewhere that sells them, and I'll never think to look them up online.
I'm very excited to watch the second-hand market for the special edition Amiibo. I feel like if they're actually special edition and they're kind of tough to get a hold of, those prices are going to go through the fucking roof.
Are there any details whatsoever about that?
No.
Okay.
Nintendo kind of outlined to investors during their financial briefing that it'll happen.
I mean, yeah, that seems like something they do.
My biggest beef with Amiibo so far is when you put it down on your gamepad, Nintendo shows all these cool lights shooting up out of it, but then they put a little disclaimer at the bottom that's like, yo, lights aren't actually going to happen. Don't think that's going to happen.
They had a Duck Hunt intro for Smash Bros. In the Direct, and they have a zapper that's like a 3D render of a zapper, NES zapper, and it's like, you can't use that with your Wii. Well, no shit.
You just need to corner the market on like gamepad customization mods and put like LEDs and shit. Like people send you their gamepad and you put like little LEDs where you sit the amiibo down so they can get that cool light show effect. You can be first on that.
We need to corner the market, Steven.
Yeah, man. That's a business term.
Sorry. Jordan and I have business degrees.
Yeah, we need some vertical integration here before we can get started.
I feel like our team isn't synergizing the way that it could.
You need to shift some paradigms and think outside the box.
Gotta shift them.
Maybe after
it's
lunch.
sad that people who did not go through business school are like, what's going on here? But these are things that actually get said seriously. And these are like the ones that come to mind. The stupider ones I can't even think of right now. But what else? Was there anything else that stood out in the direct? I'm trying to...
You can buy Miyamoto's Pikmin shorts for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Or for $5 for all of the shorts.
Not like basketball shorts, but like short videos.
Dude, I would buy some Pikmin basketball shorts and go ball out in those.
I can't.
So I was thinking about this just today actually. I wanted to do a video, and this will never happen because I don't know. Someone will tell me no, probably. I just want to get a bunch of people dressed up in cosplay, but then have a serious, legitimate pickup basketball game between the cosplayers, and just film that. Like not funny, not a joke, not like cute little things where like someone disappears for a second and is like an obvious stunt double, and then they like dunk a ball. Like nothing like that. Just like an actual hardcore pickup basketball game at a park with everyone dressed up as like video game characters.
Are these people that we hire like off of Craigslist, or is this like Detroit Crew E3 2015?
Sure,
dressing up like
just
Sonic.
As long as we can pull like a 3-on-3 at least, we can do that.
Turns out Darren's not very good at basketball.
He's too busy playing 3DS.
That was always the problem, and I don't know why I always want to do basketball videos, because I was talking to Max like a year ago, not even for like a Destructoid video, but I just wanted to have like him and Ben Pack, because both of them are like above 6'7", play a basketball game against my roommate and a la cartridge cameraman Kenny, who is like 5 feet tall, and then like one other really small person, and just like, but who actually know how to play basketball, versus Max and Ben who don't play basketball, and just see if like the giant like fucking Monstars Space Jam crew can win a 2-on-2 against two tiny people that actually know how to play basketball.
Kenny can ball?
Yeah.
All right.
The thing is, I actually remember you saying this idea when you originally said it. And I can verify that happened.
I'm just excited that Steven wants to make his own And One mixtape tour. That's his actual ambition here. Kenny's like the professor. Nobody's going to understand these references. We should.
I don't. You lost me.
All right. So Nintendo, I'm taking over your hosting duties, by the way.
I think we're done with Nintendo host.
All right. I'm giving them back.
Now we're talking. Now we're going on to free beards in The Witcher. Right, Steven? 16 pieces of free DLC for all platforms on The Witcher 3.
I would just like to call attention to my headline on this article. Which was Witcher
podcast. What do you mean call attention?
Witcher free LC. Now, give me a second to break this down for you guys if you guys have some trouble keeping up.
I am.
This is the third iteration of the Witcher franchise that is coming to PC, Xbox One, and PS4 next year. And as such, the free is standing in for the numeral 3, which is marking the third iteration. So obviously we have Witcher free because the Witcher 3's DLC is all free. And because free has a similar tone quality to the letter D, which stands for the download in DLC, Witcher free LC, Witcher 3 free DLC, we've combined this all into a nice, easy, workable phrase. But the point is that The Witcher 3's DLC is going to be free.
Steven, I read that headline this morning, and the first thing that came into my head was not his finest work. gonna shoot straight with you. That's what I thought. I was like, not his finest work, but you seem particularly proud of it.
I think I've laid it out, made a case for it. So we're just gonna.
You should do.
Hold on. Clearly, Steven's finest work was active fission. When Activision.
No, I disagree.
No, that should have won some awards.
That blew my fucking mind.
I felt pretty slighted that didn't put me at least up for like a game journalism award or something, because that was really excellent. I was firing on all cylinders at that point. That was nice.
It's not a headline, but my favorite is when you called us snakes for looking at your drafts before they went live.
Let's touch on that, because that's inside baseball.
I don't remember the exact quote, unfortunately.
So we were doing a group post. It was what everybody's playing, and Steven was spearheading it, another business term. And he started a draft post, he sent out an email reminding everybody to send their submissions in, and he wrote at the bottom, like, everyone who hasn't sent it yet, you get like snakes in your mailbox. I'm gonna put snakes in your mailbox, okay? And it was a funny one-off joke. And then if you popped into his draft of the article, he posted everybody's submission in there, and then where he put his name, he wrote, "I haven't wrote anything yet. Extra snakes for me." That was so good. Literally nobody's gonna think that's funny.
No one will, but it was my year being made.
I like to have fun with drafts.
You do.
Last week, Steven was working on a feature, and he only wrote the headline. I don't think he had written anything yet. And the body of the post just said, "Get out of my draft, you fucking rat."
That's the one I was thinking of. I conflated the two stories.
They were both good.
They are equally award-winning.
The other fun thing is because discus, whatever the fuck the
I call it discuss.
I always think discus like you throw a fucking frisbee when you're at the Olympics and lifting big rocks and whatever the fuck. Anyways,
that's the Olympics show.
So the first title of the first headline of an article, that is what'll show up in the comment thread. So even if you change it, I used to, and I haven't done this in a while, but I would just first headline something like, "Oh God, please help me, they're holding me captive." And then, put a regular headline in, so no one will ever see that. But then when they look at their discus history, they've commented on someone's cries for help, things like that.
So we actually talked about this a couple weeks ago when you weren't on the show, which might surprise you, because out of
wait, the show goes on when I'm not here.
At TGS, Elliot wrote a bunch of preview headlines, but he just wrote "blank game is blank," and he literally wrote out blank. And so that's what showed up in all the discuss little threads. Yeah. That was a weird show. This is a really weird.
I don't know why you brought that up again instead of just telling Steven afterward. Whatever. Let's not bring any more attention to it.
I never take our audience into consideration. I just act like this show is me talking to my buds, my best buds.
Over some beers. Hell yeah.
Did beers.
I want to hear about Steven's experience at that show. I can't remember, Paris something.
Oh, so I went mostly to Games Connection Europe, which is more of and to use another business term, B2B, which stands for business to business event. But they had some press out, and there's people showing off games, not necessarily looking for publishers or cocaine or whatever business does. So there was that, and across the street was Paris Games Week, which is just a big trade show equivalent to a Tokyo Game Show or a Gamescom. Apparently it had over 100,000 people present for the public days. So it's a big show.
So it's GDC right next to PAX?
Yeah, something like that.
That's cool.
And like PAX, none of the mainstream stuff at Paris Games Week was new. I mean, these were all demos that we've played at Gamescom or at TGS. The Bloodborne demo was exactly the same from TGS.
They could just bring that to every show.
Why'd you go?
That's true, but I didn't get, I didn't only have like 10 minutes and like a nice Japanese girl showing me a timer that says 10 minutes for the Bloodborne demo. I went for Games Connection, which I had like, over a dozen meetings and like played a bunch of cool games, random European indie games and whatever, and I'm still trickling out write-ups for that across the site. And I experienced the new Oculus, which is going to be close to what the consumer product is, and it's pretty weird. So I went for that, but I stopped in Paris Games Week mostly to have fun and play some games, and I did a few write-ups from that were when relevant. Also, I think there was a new Mortal Kombat character, but I wasn't following that game enough to know enough to write about it. I don't remember how to play Mortal Kombat. I don't know if they've changed their combos and stuff since Mortal Kombat 4, probably, because that was like 10, 15 years ago. So, but yeah, Mortal Kombat was cool.
Which one was it? Which of the two was it with the like raised platforms that you kept tripping over?
So that was at Paris Games Week. So yeah.
Okay.
So I did a photo gallery on Destructoid.
It was good. It was good. Check it out.
With some commentary on things. And one of the most malicious parts of the show was that we're in this like expo hall, and like the floors are all, it looks like they just laid down felt everywhere for the floor. Like not a carpet, like not like a regular floor that they can just clean between shows, but they just laid down felt. And then additionally, like certain areas and people's like where they were demoing things had these raised plywood platforms also covered in felt. And I swear to God, I tripped off of these things because like the felt's the same color, like it's just raised for no reason. So I tripped off of maybe I guess they have wires running underneath, I don't know. But so anyways, I tripped off of these damn things like 3 times. One of them was like one stacked platform, and then another part of it had like another. It was like, what are you doing? You're gonna kill somebody. It's horrible. But yeah, so there was fun photos from that. One of the photos that didn't make it into the gallery, and this was like the morning I arrived before I went to do video game work and was just kind of wandering around, is I got a picture of a house or like an apartment, and it was this like very classic Parisian architecture facade on the outside, but it was apartment number 69.
What? I had no idea where you were going with that. So
I went there and I took a picture of that to send to my friends, and then I got back to my hotel room, and I was looking at the picture that I sent them in our group chat, and you can fucking read the number, and I was like, shit, I have to go back. But then I went and looked at the picture on my computer, and it actually is totally illegible, 69. But yeah, there's like video game pictures too, obviously. The raised platforms.
Pictures of garbage everywhere.
Garbage. Yeah, Paris is a dirty, horrible place, apparently. People, I mean, there's literally, you'd see these big boxy orange or green compost bins, like for recycling for cans and stuff. And there would be like 4 cans, 5 cans on the floor next to it. And it's not because it was like full and there wasn't room and someone kind of like put it on the top a little bit and maybe it fell off. No, they just fucking chucked it. And like I'm seeing these dudes walking around with little sweep brooms and stuff, picking up all this trash. There was trash everywhere. And the other thing is, when I went first, it was like they only opened it to us. It was like a VIP showing, and so it was like not crowded. But I went back to take some of my pictures on the public day, so it didn't look barren and weird and scary. And the whole fucking convention smelled like candy. There were steel snappers everywhere on the floor. And so like in the kids section of the convention, there's this just like 20, 30 foot long counter that's just selling candy. And I guess that's, where a bulk of this came from. But it was like walking into like between just cotton candy stalls everywhere. Like it was disgusting. And that was the other weird thing about Paris Games Week, is that the majority of attendees were children, like literal children, probably between ages 10 and 13. And that was really uncomfortable.
This does not sound, yeah. I don't even know what to say. Other than the people who think the candy smell might have been good, I agree with Steven. Because sometimes when I go running around here, there's tons of berries on the trees, and it smells like sugar, and it drives me insane.
I Yeah, no, it's bad. It's not.
It's too intense.
It's not a pleasant thing.
You know, Steven, I think that the littering thing is just a part of the culture over there,
Is
and
it?
it's tough to coming from somewhere that's relatively clean. I guess I wouldn't call San Francisco clean. I'm in Colorado. It's pretty clean here.
Well, in
But
San Francisco, we at least throw our trash out outside. We don't
yeah,
litter
yeah, yeah.
indoors.
Like there's a definite like stigma against littering.
Yeah.
Gamescom was the same way. When you would approach steps, there would be like booth babes handing out just flyers and shit like that. People would like the steps, if you could see them, because there were so many fucking people on them, were just the base of all the steps were just covered in those flyers, like just a million of them. And the show floor every day was just covered in propaganda. It was terrible. It,
Well, like,
Did it
it's one
smell
thing though
good?
if someone's like forcing trash on you and you just are like, ah, fuck this. But this was just wrappers and soda bottles everywhere.
yeah, it's it's tough to get used to, definitely. I also want to say that that raised ledges thing is particularly devious because for anybody that hasn't ever been to like a show of this size, you don't really spend time looking at the floor. You spend time looking at all the people you're trying to navigate. And I've kind of gotten past this, but when you've only done it a couple times, you look at all the shit around you. There's all these giant booths, there's all these giant TVs, there's just this spectacle going on. And then all of a sudden you drop 8 inches and shatter your ankle, apparently. Oh, that's so brutal. What
Steven.
what do you think people thought when you were bending down to get photos of these ledges?
Yeah, no, I knew like they were like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Just kneeling down, taking pictures of the goddamn platform.
Those 12-year-olds are judging you pretty hard.
Yeah, probably, man.
Speaking of bending down, I want you to deconstruct this photo you took at the end. You did like. You
I
really
agree.
have to see the photo to know why we're laughing. It's in his like photo essay post. He like is bending down in front of a mirror, so it looks like he has 4 legs. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, I was so that like I had I flew out like a day after the show ended because it was cheaper. So I had a day to just like wander around the city, and like that morning I was just like getting ready, and like there was this nice full length mirror in my hotel room, and for some reason I took a weird forced perspective funhouse looking picture just to send to my friends, and I thought it was too funny not to share, so I put it I put it on Twitter, and then I put it in that at the end of that post.
Are you or are you not shirtless in this picture? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, I am.
Excellent. I think we're done with this show now. Am I right?
I think we talked about 1/8 of what we wanted to talk about,
Really?
but we probably should be done because this has rambled for a long time.
No, I think we talked about exactly what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I'm pretty excited that we got through a show without Jordan saying, not a lot of news this week. Because if you go
I
back,
wanted
like,
to say it, but I held back.
the first minute of every show is you going, not a lot of news this week.
I'm
But
trying
here we are
to set
anyway.
expectations, Brett. Jesus.
Just get that downvote ready.
Next week I'll start by saying there is a lot of news, even though there won't be,
Not going to be
because
a lot
it's
of news.
November.
There won't be a lot of news until GDC, probably.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you made it this far to hear about Steven's wacky stories. We'll be back next week. Yeah, find more videos on youtube.com/gtoid, or you can find, if you would rather listen to this in audio form, that is on iTunes. And go get your crew beta code if you have a PS4 or Xbox One on Destructoid.
I just want to point out that we're only going to be back next week if Max can refrain from using both the toaster and the microwave. Otherwise,
I don't think he learned his lesson yet, so that might happen. I could see it happening again.
maybe Max is a saboteur. Maybe he didn't want the show to go on.
He wants us to suffer and do it twice.
He wants to do that basketball video I talked about.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.